We're talking to Pastor KWalker, and the issue is the reentry of individuals who have been incarcerated into a free society. And of course, Reverend Walker, over the last this last segment, let's give you an opportunity to expand upon some of the things that you're telling us, that in reality you're enlightening us in reference to what is going on, in reference to ex-offenders who are coming back into society. Let's continue that.
Okay. As I was saying before the break, Commissioner White, Quentin White, he has really put some focus on reentry programs. He's really trying to look in that area because something has to be done to break the recidivism rate. Now, and it not only starts with the reentry program, but it should back up with the parole board. You know, when you, again, once you got an individual that has proven themselves worthy of release, and then you got a parole board that's sitting there and they're basically retrying the case. I said at one hearing at one time, and I saw a parole board member actually recommend that an individual be put off for 20 years. I mean, that's a brand new sentence that can only be handed down by the court. You know, of course it didn't stand, but just to even recommend that, I mean, that's just, to me, Dr. Haney, that's just pure foolishness, and it just don't make any kind of sense whatsoever. That's another system that I think that really needs to be looked at. Now, I'm not saying open the floodgates and let everybody out, because there's some people in prison that need to be in prison that don't need to get out of prison. You know, when I went to prison, I needed to be there for the time that I was there because I was a criminal and my mind was set on committing crimes. And that leads to another issue as well. You take an individual, and a lot of people don't realize, and this is concerning the rights, your civil rights, your rights as a citizen of the state of Tennessee of the United States of America, in voting, in terms of voting and stuff. It's so messed up there, so many, the way they got it broke down, this person can't vote, this one can, this one won't ever be able to vote. But in essence, when you commit a crime in the state of Tennessee or in the United States of America, or let me narrow it down to the state of Tennessee, when you commit a crime in the state of Tennessee, you can go commit a crime, you may go and do 3 years, you may do 5 years, you may do 1 year, a felony conviction. But in essence, what you have in your possession is a life sentence, because for the rest of your life, and they don't want you to vote, you know, you don't have the rights of a citizen, truly rights of a citizen of this country. You know, my thing is, if you don't want me to vote, you know, and all that stuff, then I don't see why I should have to pay taxes either. Why not? Don't press me about paying income tax and stuff. If I don't have a right to vote, you know, let's do the whole ball of wax if we're gonna do any parts of it. You know, and I think that's a big issue as well. But we have structured programs through the Hands of God Recovery Ministries, and we are on the approved list of they call them halfway houses, we call them recovery houses. People coming out of Tennessee Department of Correction, and our programs are structured and they're designed to help individuals make that transition back into society. We want to take the individuals as they come out and then basically show them the love of God. You know, show them that, first of all, God has forgiven you for whatever it is that you did. We're not concerned about that, you know. We want to know what you did. Of course we want to know your crime, but we're not concerned about your crime because God has forgiven you. Now what we want to do is be a servant to you and help you to make that transition.
Make that transition back into society.
Help you to get the job, help you to mend the relationships that you had that maybe you have destroyed with your loved one as a result of your drug addiction or your incarceration or whatever it is that caused you to be incarcerated. And help you to mend those relationships, help you to get gainfully employed, and help you to become responsible, paying your bills, you know, contributing to this tax system that, you know, I don't believe I should have to pay anyway. But, you know, to help a person in that progress, that's what we're all about, because there's a big need. And if people got to realize, when people in the prison system, they got sentences that have parole dates or expiration dates, they're going to either parole out or they're going to either expire their sentences. It's up to us that are out here in so-called free world society to make a determination right now as to how much help can we give these individuals, because one day they might be your neighbor.
Well, why don't you speak to, over the